Hello there guys, and welcome back to my channel for my preview of the Chelsea versus West Ham game taking place on Monday evening, tomorrow evening. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing another kind of proper preview again. Maybe not quite like I used to do in 100% Chelsea, but pretty close to it. And I simply thought there was a lot of stuff to talk about that I wanted to talk about, team selection wise. Also, Sarri's press conference on Friday I thought was pretty interesting, so I wanted to mention that as well. And yeah, so I do hope you enjoy it. If you do leave a like. If you're new here, please do subscribe to my channel. I would honestly massively appreciate that. Let's keep the channel growing. So yeah, like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. And also, like I mentioned in the last video, please vote for me in the Football Blogging Awards, where I'm nominated as one of the finalists in the category of Best International Content Creator. The link to it is down in the description below. You can also vote on Twitter and Instagram. But let's not talk about that much longer, because usually my intros before I actually get into the video are way too long as they are. But let's finish it with that and just get into the preview itself. And obviously, as usual, starting it off by talking about our opposition, and that this time is obviously West Ham. Now, West Ham currently sit in 11th, and they're just having a really up and down season, because West Ham have a very, very, very good squad. Fabianski is, in my opinion, a very underrated goalkeeper, has played a very good season as well. Good goalkeeper. They have a decent defence, on and off maybe, but they have a decent defence. They have a good midfield. Obviously, Declan Rice kind of moves from centre-back more to a central defensive midfielder role, where he's doing really well at the moment. And they just have a lot of good players, especially in attacking positions. They have Yarmolenko, of course, who is injured, I'm pretty sure, still. Obviously, they have Marko Arnautovic, they have Felipe Anderson, they have, Javier Hernandez when he does play, and only recently got 2 late goals to win them the game against Huddersfield. And, Mikel Antonio as well. They have a lot of good players, but they've just been very up and down, very inconsistent. And that's kind of what makes it a tricky game, because you're not really sure what kind of West Ham you're going to get. Considering we are Chelsea, and it feels like literally everyone plays their best games against us, except maybe Brighton, but literally everyone else seems to be playing their best games against us. Probably going to be a good day for them. Doesn't mean we can't beat them, but it's probably going to make it a little bit more difficult. But, like when I say they have some up and down results and an up and down season, I mean, they've had some impressive results, like holding Liverpool to a 1-1 draw this season, and only that was unfortunate for West Ham, because Liverpool, scored an clear offside goal to make it 1-1. Otherwise, West Ham probably would have won that game. But they also had really poor results, like losing 2-0 away to Cardiff. Yes, Cardiff at home are better than they are away. But, I mean, come on, you just shouldn't lose 2-0 to Cardiff. Like, you just shouldn't. It's as simple as that. And, I mentioned players like Arnautovic and Felipe Anderson, and recently they just haven't been in such good form either. Like, those two haven't been scoring anywhere near enough, or anywhere near as much, I'd say, compared to the first part of the season. For example, Arnautovic had a couple of injuries throughout the winter period. Obviously, there was talk about him leaving for China and all that stuff. So that clearly didn't help, because he's not really scoring a lot recently, which is disappointing, because I like Arnautovic a lot, considering he's Austrian and I'm Austrian. Yeah, I like him a lot. Usually, they do tend to play in a 4-2-3-1 formation, although when we faced them, earlier in the season, back in September, and got a 0-0 draw, they lined up in more of a 4-3-3. So it will be interesting to see whether they'll do the same against us, tomorrow. They might very well do, because it kind of worked for them last time, because in all honesty, in that 0-0 against them, while we did have our chances, they also had their chances, and we could have both won and lost that game. So it kind of worked pretty well for West Ham, I guess. So they might just do the exact same thing again. But that's why I say it might not just be the exact same way I used to do it in 100% Chelsea, because let's leave it at that for West Ham. They're a good team. It's going to be a tricky game. But, let's talk more about Chelsea, and let's start it off by talking about Maurizio Sarri's pre-match press conference that obviously took place on Friday, and then the embargoed bit that we, kind of the information we got last night then, which was also very interesting. So, obviously, there was quite a few things to talk about. First thing I want to mention is when he spoke about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And something that I didn't mention ahead of the last game was that, or after the last game rather, was that Loftus-Cheek, for the first time when he played against Brighton, didn't have any back problems. According to Maurizio Sarri, for the first time this season, he was completely fine with his back. But he also said after the game that he wanted to see, how the next day was, how his recovery was, whether he was fine with his back, or whether after playing, 82 minutes of a game, his back would be sore again and it'd be a bit more of an issue again. And that's kind of what he spoke about this time as well. He said he's improved so much tactically. He's basically a complete midfielder now, Sarri said. He improved so much. And he said at the start of the season, he was a very attacker-minded midfielder, but now he's just a complete central midfielder, and, he likes him very much, which is obviously great to hear, because I love Loftus-Cheek. But now, ahead of the Monday game against West Ham on Friday, Sarri said that on Friday, Loftus-Cheek only did like recovery training, while the rest of the team wasn't only recovery training anymore, with the actual game against Brighton being on Wednesday. So that's where you see he just takes, basically Sarri said he needs longer to recover from games with his back, because you have to be a little bit more careful with it. And Sarri said, it kind of his main problem is that he's not really able to play full 90 minutes that regularly or at all. I mean, he did at Kiev, which I still find a little bit weird that he did that. You know, I was surprised that he wasn't taken off after like 60, 70, 80 minutes or so. But, you know, he did play that game, so I'm not really sure about it. But, you know, he's certainly found some praising words for him. Then he also spoke about Hudson-Odoi. He was basically asked, will he start on Monday? And, you know, how good is he? And all that, basically. And, you know, so he said he is very good and he's improved. And what he said plenty of times in recent weeks as well. And he said he doesn't know yet whether he will start against West Ham because he has to make a decision as to who will start against West Ham and who will start against Slavia Prague on Thursday in the Europa League. So I'm pretty sure Hudson-Odoi will start one of those two games, which, you know, is obviously going to be good. I'm going to talk about where I'd start him later on in the video. Then he also spoke about Olivier Giroud, which we only found out about last night, and he said that, you know, the club has an option basically to extend Olivier Giroud's contract by another 12 months and basically keep him at the club even though his contract is currently running out. It's just one of those options that clubs have sometimes, just to extend, you know, a contract by a year. And to his knowledge, basically, you know, the club want to use that option, especially, you know, with our transfer ban likely to happen. We'll find out more about that on Thursday, which will obviously be interesting as well. And he also said he thinks that Olivier Giroud, you know, wants to stay as well, even though there has, of course, been plenty of talks and reports that Giroud might be going back to France, to Lyon, to Marseille, maybe, you know, clubs like that. And, you know, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But with the transfer ban, I guess it would somewhat make sense, especially if we're not going to keep Higuain. It kind of would make sense, I guess. But, you know, and like I said, you know, he did speak about Hudson-Odoi, who will play Monday, who will play Thursday, and he generally said that about the team because he was asked, will he just have to go with the exact same team he played against Brighton, considering the performance was very good compared to other games as well. And he said, well, it's not that easy to play the exact same team because we have a lot of games coming up. You know, we have played 51 games this season, and it's not that easy to just, you know, throw out the exact same team, because then what do you do on Thursday and what do you do on the Sunday after when we play Liverpool? Like, we'll have to do rotation, you know, we'll have to just rotate. Like, it's as simple as that. We cannot field the exact same 11 every single game. It just doesn't work. Like, we can't do that. We have to chop and change and do a bit of rotation here, a bit of rotation there. Not change the entire 11, but change some of it. You just have to. Like, it's as simple as that. And now let's get into that team that basically I would feel. You know, like I said, we have to rotate. We have to play a lot of games, and that's why I would do a little bit of rotation on Monday, and then a little bit of rotation again on Thursday, and then probably have the very best team to play, obviously, against Liverpool on Sunday, you know, the Sunday after, because that is obviously a big game, and we also want them to stop them from winning the title. That would just be lovely. So, you know, I mean, in all honesty, let's go from back to front throughout the team. Obviously, Kepa will be in goal. Should just be in goal for all of the games because he's the goalkeeper. He's not going to be that tired. Azpilicueta will probably have to play all of the games because Zappacosta just not even for Prague. Like, it's only Prague, but it's still the Europa League quarterfinal, and, you know, I wouldn't want to underestimate it at all. So Azpilicueta basically just has to start all of them games, unless we're like 2 or 3-0 up away at Prague, and then take Aspi off for Zappacosta like we did obviously against Brighton, which was good. Then, you know, Emerson, I'd say start him on, you know, at left back tomorrow. I'm not sure about Alonso's fitness situation. Of course, he missed the Brighton game. Not sure whether he's fit yet. Sarri didn't really mention it, and I didn't read anything about it. Could have just missed something, but I don't know at this point. And you know, then as he's probably going to be fine by Thursday, start Alonso on Thursday, and then Emerson again away at Liverpool on Sunday. For me, that would make the most sense because Emerson, you know, throughout this season, he hasn't really looked like he's capable of playing 4 games in a row. You know, maybe Sarri just didn't want to, but that's what he felt like anyway. So that's what I would do. As the centre-backs, considering Christensen and Luiz played against Brighton on Wednesday, I would start Rüdiger and Luiz tomorrow, then Rüdiger and Christensen on Thursday, and then Luiz alongside any one of them against Liverpool on Sunday, basically. For me personally, it should be Christensen over Rüdiger on Sunday. But, you know, I just leave that up to Sarri. I don't think it makes the biggest amount of difference, in all honesty. But that's the kind of rotation I do in defence. In midfield, Jorginho, in my opinion, has to start tomorrow and has to start on Sunday, and then play Kovacic as that, you know, Regista as the deep line playmaker on Thursday at Prague, obviously. Then Kante, similar to Aspi, probably has to play all 3 games. Like, it's still a Europa League quarter-final on Thursday, so I would just start him. You know, he has to make it work, in my opinion. I mean, he got the full game's rest against Cardiff last week, obviously, which was good. So he should probably just about be fine. And then depending on the first leg result, maybe we can rest him in the second leg against Prague. That would be nice, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess. And then as the left-centre midfielder, if he is fit, if he can start again, Loftus-Cheek has to start tomorrow. There's no debate. Like, it shouldn't even be a question of if any of Barkley or Kovacic play ahead of him. If Loftus-Cheek is fit to start, he has to start every game. But if he's fit, he has to start. It's as simple as that. On Thursday, then I wouldn't start him. You know, start Barkley there. And then on Sunday, of course, it has to be Ruben Loftus-Cheek again. If Ruben isn't fine to start again tomorrow with his back just taking a bit longer to recover from the game on Wednesday, he should be fine, hopefully, because if he's not capable of getting, basically ready to play from Wednesday to Monday, then that's a bit of an issue. So he should probably be fine. But if he's not, I'd still rather start him Sunday than Thursday, because he's not going to be able to start both, let's be honest. But, rather Sunday than Thursday, simply because, he's just so good and we need him more against Liverpool, in my opinion. But, I mean, maybe that's just me, but that's, what I think. Will we actually see Loftus-Cheek start tomorrow, whether he's fit or not? I don't know, but that's just what I would do personally anyway. Then as the front three, Higuain, for me, has to start tomorrow, and then Olivier Giroud has to start on Thursday. Give Olivier Giroud the chance to win the Golden Boot in the Europa League. Just has to be done, in my opinion. And then basically decide, out of Higuain's performance tomorrow, whether it's Giroud or Higuain against Liverpool. Because Higuain possibly could have a really good game tomorrow, score 2 or 3 goals and win us the game, and then you'd have that debate. So I think it's difficult to judge that now. But, judging now without seeing Higuain possibly play tomorrow, I'd probably go with Giroud against Liverpool. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Then Hazard has to start tomorrow, rest him on Thursday, obviously start him again against Liverpool. As for Hudson-Odoi, well, now he obviously has to start on Thursday. He simply has to, because I want to have one of Hazard and Hudson-Odoi in the team on Thursday. I would like that. And Hudson-Odoi play on the left, where he's a little bit better than he is on the right as well. So that would be good. I would start Hudson-Odoi also tomorrow. Whether we'll see that or not is a different question. But I wouldn't start him against Liverpool. Some of you might disagree with that, but against Liverpool, we'll have to be a little bit more defensive, probably have a similar approach that we had against Man City in a cup final against Spurs when we beat them 2-0 at the Bridge. Bit more defensive, the wingers tucking in deep, a flat midfield three with the wide midfielders pressing a little bit more than actually the wingers. So, you'll have to be a bit more used to the defensive part of the game, which I don't think Hudson-Odoi is just yet. So that's why I just trust Pedro and Willian with that part of the game more at this point. It could surprise me if he does start and he could do really well at it. But at this point, I think they will be better suited. So, that's why I start one of them two on Sunday. Neither of them will do loads of amounts, going forward. But they'll provide what we need defensively to hopefully just, get a good result at Liverpool. That would obviously be the most important thing in the fight for top 4, and also obviously to stop them from winning the league, which I said before would obviously be great. And which one of them two it is doesn't really matter to me. And then tomorrow, again, doesn't really matter to me which one of them it is if it isn't Hudson-Odoi. But that's what I do. And overall, well, basically, I'm just hoping for a similar or better performance than we had against Brighton. I do expect a more difficult game against West Ham than we did face against Brighton. But, if we can play similarly as well or better, I think we're more than capable of getting another convincing, win. That's obviously the most important thing is the 3 points. But if we can get it with a convincing performance and get I can't say the word convincing, apparently. And if we can get a convincing win as well tomorrow, that would obviously be great, especially because as I'm recording right now, Arsenal are trailing Everton by 1-0. There was, when I turned it off to record the video, it was only half an hour gone, so it could be completely different now. But at that point, so if Everton can hold on to that, result and beat Arsenal, that would obviously be great, because, we would actually be back in a very good position to make top 4, which, a couple of weeks ago after the Everton result by ourselves, I didn't expect at all. A couple of weeks before that, I did expect. So it's really all over the place. So a win tomorrow is very, very important. Like I said, I do expect a difficult game, but I am confident that we can get the win. And I just hope we can get a bit of a run going. One against Brighton, one against Cardiff as well, luckily, but we did. Win tomorrow, go past Prague, and then possibly get a win or a draw at Liverpool. All of that would be ideal. Whether we'll get that or not, we'll have to wait and see. But that's what I'm hoping for. Let's keep the movement up. Let's keep the intensity up that we had against Cardiff. Let's be variable. Let's, sometimes stay out wide. Let's sometimes go through the middle. Let's try crossing. Let's try, through the middle. Let's try, long balls by David Luiz or Jorginho. Let's try all of our things, move around so much that the opponent can't handle us. I think if we do all of that, we'll be just fine. Although, of course, even though Pellegrini likes to attack, they'll probably try to be very solid and not, make it really difficult for us to break them down. But hopefully we can, and hopefully get the win. I'm not going to do a prediction. I kind of can't be asked to doing predictions anymore, because it's just wild guessing anyway. What Chelsea will get and what West Ham will get, there's just no point in betting on that game or doing anything with it. There's just no point. But yeah, to be honest, that is really it from me. I do hope that you did enjoy this video. I do hope that you did enjoy a more proper preview again, because I know a lot of you did enjoy, those videos when I used to make them 100% Chelsea. So I do hope that you did enjoy it again. If you're new here, if you, haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe. I would massively appreciate that. Also click the notification bell button just to be, notified whenever I do upload a new video, and you won't miss any of them. That would be great. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Leave a like if you do enjoy my content. And of course, leave me any of your thoughts you have ahead of the game and everything I mentioned down in the comment section below. which games should Hudson-Odoi and Hazard start? How would you rotate for tomorrow, for Thursday, for Sunday against Liverpool? Let me know all of that. I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know that in the comment section below. And yeah, to be honest, that's really it for me. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to provide a review straight after the game tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it on Tuesday. That would probably make more sense. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll do a live one after the game tomorrow. I'll have to wait and see. But as I don't know yet, you know, it is simply, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chels, and I'll see you when I see you.